We're joined today by Nadia Thompson. She is with Black History Manitoba. Now, speaking of Black history, February is coming around the corner. That means that it is Black History Month. Now, this is something we should be celebrating all year round, every day, all day, but we have a focus and a spotlight on it in February. Why is it so important to dedicate this month to Black history?
I think we see this almost every year. Black history is Canadian history, and it's important for us as human beings to know more about other cultures and other backgrounds, other ethnicities. And celebrating Black History Month is just a way to acknowledge, to celebrate, to have fun, to educate, and get more knowledge about a different culture. So we do our best to be very diligent and consistent in the messaging that we have out there, that we want more people to know about the achievements and the contributions to history through our Black community.
What are some of the most important things that Canadians and Manitobans should know about Black history?
There's a lot of our history that is not being taught to our young people, especially through the education system. And we think that that is unfortunate because a lot of the way that history turned out creates the way that we see our path forward, and that's how our future is kind of molded. So by not learning about the mistakes, the tragedies, even the achievements, and the contributions of our past gives us a kind of a wall to that connection that we have with other cultures and other historical factors that create Canadian history.
And I know last year we mentioned a little bit about maybe introducing this into the curriculum. Has there been any movement since we chatted last time?
Not necessarily through our group. I'm sure there are advocates all over the country and the world that want to have that change within all different systems. I know there's certain systems that do have it implemented, but we here in Manitoba anyway don't have that implication yet. We've spoken to government officials. It's not an easy process, and sometimes patience has to win out.
Mhm.
So we're being very patient and trying our best. We are a very grassroots volunteer committee, sorry, and it's hard for us to do the big change, but we make the changes that we can. Even if it's a little change, it's still effective and it's still making progress. We have way more connections and networks that we are able to talk to. We've reached thousands and thousands of young people and children throughout the city and throughout the province, actually throughout the country, if I'm being honest, through some of our education programming and through our diligence of these volunteers, which I have to always say how hardworking the committee is and how excellent and amazing it is to be a part of this committee, because they are such dedicated and hardworking people that make up the Black History Manitoba committee. And it's just such a joy to be a part of it.
I love that. And now, speaking of Black history and Black History Manitoba, there are some events coming up in February, but you also have some events prior to Black History Month that are going on. Share a little bit about those events first, and then we'll move into what's going on next month.
For sure. So we're starting in January. And usually we just do our one event in January, which is our opening ceremonies. And we usually just want to have that event just so that when we go into February, we're going in with a bang, and making sure that as much information is provided to those or that we can. But this year, we were asked to collaborate with a couple different people. And we thought, you know what, this is a great way to provide that avenue that we're doing this all year round. So not everything has to be put into the shortest month of the year. So we're happy to be partnering with Manitoba Liquor and Lottery and Africa Center to have a Black community market. and that is going to be taking place on Thursday, January 23rd. It's a small window. It's from 6 to 9, and it's in the Club Regent Event Center. And we basically have vendors coming from our community, so they're Black-owned businesses and Black-led organizations that are going to come and have their products, their services there available for people to come and check them out. It varies from makeup and clothing to catering services, fragrances, oils. It's just lots of stuff. There's about 11 vendors. So it's going to be a really great evening. And I encourage people, of course, it's free to get in there. It's in between the casino and the hotel. So it's family friendly. You can bring the kids and do a little running around. We're privileged to have a little bit of music, and I'll be there to host and kind of touch base with everybody to give them an opportunity to share who they are and what they do. So that again, free event on the 23rd. And then we have January 24th and 25th. We moved our youth event outside of February and moved it to January. And we did that intentionally so that we can learn what our young people in schools are doing for February. So it's the Black Student Union Summit. And I have to be very specific and emphasize that we use union as a togetherness, of a like-mindedness, so that these students feel that they have a safe space and that they have somewhere to share information. And we want to make sure that they're coming together and sharing the same information and the same struggles and the same obstacles with each other and learning from each other, and just meeting each other to know that there are other people across the city and across the province that are in the same boat. So we want to give them that space. So Friday, the 24th, we are privileged to have a location donated by Uville Diabetic Center. It is the Huddle, 17 St. Mary Road. And we're there in the evening on Friday at 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It's just a networking reception that we're going to just come together, do a little bit of chit-chatting and networking, have some cocktails and some reception or some hors d'oeuvres. And everybody is welcome. Again, we're very clear that we know it's a Black Student Union Summit. However, it is open to everybody. Most of our programming you'll see is that we have emphasized that you do not have to be Black in order to participate in what we do. And then Saturday, we will have some guest speakers, some entertainment, and then breakout sessions where you can actually get into small groups and talk about different aspects. So we have government policy and productions, and we've got arts and entertainment. We have mental health and wellness. We have community service and volunteering, and marketing and business. So those are the topics that we'll be chit-chatting about. And we just want everybody to come out and share, because that's the only way that we improve, by knowing what our young people are doing and how our schools are supporting them and how we can support them in the long run. So that's what we do there. And then Sunday the 26th is the opening ceremonies. So this is our annual event. It's our 44-year celebration. So we are excited. Our theme this year is connecting communities, heart, hands, and history. And that's what we basically want to do. There's a lot of heart that goes into the work that we do. And there's a lot of hands that make this work a little bit easier to get it done. And then there's a lot of history behind what we're doing for the last 44 years. And we're wanting people to realize the connection of all other history. So whether it's Asian history, South Asian history, Indigenous history, Canadian history, there's all a connection there, and we want to be able to celebrate together. So that's our January.
I love it. Now moving on to February, you've got a whole calendar filled with events. What are some of the top the most important events that you would say that really are important to the month?
So all the events obviously are important. We do have some highlights. So things like the Family Day and History Lesson is a really great event because it's on the holiday Monday. It's a family friendly and family encouraged event because there's something for everybody. We've got speakers, we've got drum circles, we have art projects, we have cooking, music, just everything we kind of touch base on. And there's lots to do. It's at the Jamaican Association of Manitoba, and they have been a long time partner with us. They're so diligent in their commitment to support us. So it's a really great event, and we always appreciate partnering with them. We've got the Jets game on the 26th, which is again the Black History Night with the Winnipeg Jets. And that connection came about a couple years now. I think this is our third year. They're just so excellent to partner with, and they've made such a great commitment. So 6:30 p.m. we're at True North. We're there in the concourse during the intermissions, and we have our booth set up. There'll be a few other booths, but there's going to be some drumming entertainment. We'll have our guest. I don't know if I should ruin the surprise. Special guest that we'll be dedicating a little bit of time to. So Pokey Reddick will be here, and we're so excited to have him come. And we're going to highlight him and a few community members, community organizations will highlight them during the night too. So lots of fun, lots of swag, everything that we can do. We are so happy to work with the city and with some local businesses, especially Zwike. Our signature look. Our hoodies are available at the Jet store. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but we touch everything. We've got movies, we've got job fairs, we've got music and concerts. Uh, there's so much stuff. There's our stuff.
I
But
love it.
if you always can go to our website, we're still updating. And if you are not a part of the committee itself and you have an event, you always have that option to go to our website, bhmwinnipeg.com, and submit your event there. And then we will put it up on our website as well.
All of these events, you like you said, you've opened it up to everybody. It's a perfect way to start a conversation and to allow people to learn.
It is, yeah, yeah. And we want to especially acknowledge and celebrate. I know I didn't mention it, but people and those partnerships really mean so much to us. We also have the first Friday at the Manitoba Museum, which is our fourth year doing that as well. And it brings so many people out because we kind of work with such organizations that are so supportive and they're so dedicated and they're so helpful to us to make our jobs easier by letting us horn in on their network and their people, because we've got hundreds and hundreds of people that come through. This year will be on February 7th, and it just makes our life easier, and it just shows how diverse and how open this city is to learning and to helping and to wanting to give back to all communities, which makes this so great. So I thank everybody in advance and for all the future, to do whatever you can, however you can, even if you have to come to one thing, even if you're sharing the information, if you're just talking about what goes on. It's important and it makes it a big difference. And then we'll have all of our summer events coming up as well. So if you keep watch to our website, we're on uh, Instagram, Facebook. You can join the group and get all the information there. Just put in Black History Manitoba. You'll find us all over the place. So that's what we're up to.
Thank you so much, Nadia, for making time for us today.
It's been great. And I also, this connection and this collaboration, I appreciate every year. So we will see you again
Awesome.
very soon.
Yes.
And thank you again for the time that you took to join me.